Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Reasonably Effective podcast brought to you by myself, Uncommon Fossil, as well as 10 Types.
Yep. Hello, everyone.
And to let you know, I didn't make mention of it when this happened a couple episodes ago, but we're on episode 303 by our numbering system. The first digit, the first three, represents season three. So we're on to season three. That was a big deal. We kind of, when rotation set, that's kind of when we did it in the past. So, I don't know. We're somewhere over 100 episodes, I think. So we missed our big 100th episode special, but they're all that special anyway, aren't they?
Yeah.
And this one will be as well, right? So this week we're talking uh, Destin's Rivals, or the
Destined
glory.
Rivals, yeah.
What's that?
Destined Rivals.
Destined Rivals, yeah, or the Glory of Team Rocket. So the Destined Rivals is the international set coming out the end of March 30th, I believe. The Glory of
May.
Team. Yes, May. I knew I was going to mess that up, and I managed to. I was like, don't mess it up, but I did. Yes, the end of May, so like 2 months, or less than 2 months from now. And it's of the Japanese set, the Glory of Team Rockets. So we'll talk a lot of Team Rockets cards. But are there other things in the set as well besides the Glory Team Rockets, or is it just the Glory Team Rockets?
Yeah. So it's also the expansion heat, or the Japanese expansion Heat Wave Arena, I believe, it's been translated a bunch of different ways.
Okay.
So that has a bunch of trainers Pokemon, a bunch of different trainers in it. It has four. It has Cynthia's is I think the best one. There's also the Ethan's, which is pretty good, and we might talk about that. And then there's also the two decks. There's the one of the Stevens and there's the one of the Marnie. So there's a total of 7 trainers in the set in the international expansion, and
Okay.
like half of the trainers Pokemon are Team Rocket's Pokemon, which we'll be talking about later. Like once we get through the non-Team Rocket's Pokemon.
Mm-hmm. So these, let me just, the seven, are these additional trainers that we don't have trainers Pokemon for already?
Yeah, I believe we're not really getting new trainers Pokemon for the Pokemon we've already seen. There might be a Hops card. There's supposed to be a Hops Pincurchin. Oh, it's not even in Limitless. I was gonna check. So it's not out yet. I believe it's out in Japan. Not really sure the details with that. But yeah, we're essentially not getting more of the 4 trainers we've already seen. Or
Okay.
these either. This will be the last set of Scarlet and Violet.
Right. And there's going to be a lot, we don't know all of them yet, but there's going to be more Team Rocket cards than the other trainers, right? When all is all said and done. In terms of the like ones, say like Hops cards versus Team Rockets, there'll be a lot more Team Rockets than Hops.
Yeah, and I think they said the numbers. I don't remember what they were, and I was a little confused by that because I thought they said 2 different numbers. But yeah, there's more.
Okay. All right, thanks. I just wanted to get things clear. So you want to dive in and start talking cards now?
Yeah, let's start with Titan EX here. This is a stage 1 EX water with 300 HP, so quite high there. And then you have the ability whenever your opponent plays an item or supporter from their hand, you are immune to all effects of that card done to this Pokemon, stopping things like Boss's Orders is the main one, or like other similar cards like Counter Catcher or Prime Catcher. And then also you have the attack for 4 energy, 3 which are water, you do 140, and you can discard a stadium play. If you do, it does 140 more damage, and it also does have a 4 retreat cost.
Right. So at stage one, 300 HP now is very nice and tanky. So I like that about it. At 4 energies to attack is not good. So I don't know how I'm powered up other than playing Excalibur. And I'm not thrilled about that thought. Just having to have a stage two. I don't know how to power it up. I gotta say. And then you have to have a stadium in play, which is okay, but you're not all. But you have to discard it, so you're gonna miss some turns when you get the energy and can attack. Hopefully, you're not knocked out. You're gonna sometimes knock out a stadium and play the next turn, and then you're only doing 140. So instead of the 280, so not. I'm a little underwhelmed, I'd say.
Yeah, I think it's kind of weak. It's pretty defensive in a really good way, but
Yeah.
outside of that, it's like not great. And the main thing, as I said, is to stop Gust. The ability does that, but then you need to like switch to the bench, and at that point, like you're getting rid of all your energies by like retreating it off, and that's not great. And you're like 300 is tanky, but it's not surviving everything by any means. And it's weak to metal as well, so it's kind of bad for our Caledon and even Goldengo as well. It's bad there. So you'll be getting one-shotted some, and you're also not really one-shotting things back. Charizard and Dragapult, you're not one-shotting, and they're
Right.
not one-shotting you, but this is definitely more awkward than those, I assume.
Right. The 280 number was kind of the magic number back in the V Star era because that's what the V Stars generally topped out at, which we saw a lot of. But now at 280, you're not one-shotting the stage 2 EXs basically, nor even something a stage 1 like a Titan. So that doesn't feel good, or unless you do like more manipulation, but you already need a lot of work with four energies in the stadium. So I think it's going to struggle some probably.
Yeah. There's like a good Titans, or there's an okay Titans standard, which does, I think it does 220 if it has a special energy. Essentially, if it has a reversal, you can do 220, which is like fine. But it doesn't really have synergy with this Titan, so, or this Titan EX because it's an EX. But yeah, it's not the worst card, but it's certainly not super strong either.
Yeah, no, I mean, look, it's not terrible, but it doesn't get me excited to build a deck about it. So let's see the next card. Will that get you excited to talk about? Oh, the one thing that confused me, you said these are the Pokemon we're talking about from the Team Rocket set, and all these first Pokemon are not Team Rocket's Pokemon, but I realized eventually we get there. So we're not doing the non-Team Rockets first, like you said in the intro. So the next one is the Zamazenta, a basic Pokemon, single prize this case. Metal Pokemon, 130 HP. Strong Bash does 70 damage. And if it's damaged during the next turn, then you put that number of damage counters onto your opponent's attacking Pokemon. So that part's nice, right? That kind of revenge aspect. But the 70 in the first place isn't great. 3 metal energy is not great. And if they gust around or something, your opponent's going to know what's coming. So they're going to kind of work things out. So I'm not, again, I'm not thrilled about this. Probably even less so as to how viable it'll be.
Yeah, that seems pretty niche. Metal's not. Oh, metal's like kind of good. But no, metal's good. But like I wouldn't put this in Archaludon. And I think it could go in a deck that plays like Matang maybe.
Yeah.
But Matang's like not super good. Archaludon's just better a lot of the time. They're not quite the same, but Archaludon's a really good Pokemon, and they have some similarities. So Matang's kind of pushed out of the format. Not that it was ever that good, though. It was like decent with Dialga, but um, yeah, this card has like use cases, I guess. I mean, it can knock stuff out, and then it can get multiple knockouts with one attack, which is good. But that's pretty niche. Your opponent will have to essentially play into that and kind of make it happen. So it's okay.
Yeah, right. Like Archaludon, this could be a single prize attacker, which could be good to have. So, but I'm not sure it's going to see a lot of play. The next one here is one of my favorites here. We get to a fire Pokemon, and this is Blaziken. This is it's a non-EX, so a single prize. I don't think, oh, the Torchic's not bad. For collect, you draw a card for a colorless energy. So, that's always good for a generic basic that's
Yeah,
just a pre-evolution.
and it's got 70 HP and one retreat. So that's like,
Right.
I mean, it's nothing insane, obviously, but it's the best one, I guess.
Right. No, right. You want 70 HP, obviously. You want to be above six, especially with Dragapult out there. So you're not getting one shot. All those things are pluses. The combustion attack's not terrible, but you're not playing it for this for that anyway. So Blaziken for 2 colorless does 70. That's obviously I would say not great. But then Inferno Legs, I don't know if that's the actual name, but I like the name there. Fire colorless. You just took card 2 energies of this Pokemon, and it does 120 to the active and 120 to one of the bench Pokemon. So, is it good enough? Obviously, 120 active, 120 bench isn't bad, but you're not one-shotting anything with that. Well, basic pre-evolutions you might be, but once it's evolved, you're not even necessarily two-shotting everything. If you could two-shot 2 multi-prize Pokemon, that's good, but you may have to 3-shot some things. So, and you have to discard the energy to get it back in play. Plus, it's stage 2. I think it's pretty awkward.
Yeah, and then like if you're doing bench damage to EXs, you can't do it. And also, like, if I could just do 90 and 90 on a stage 1, I feel like you just rather do that.
Yeah.
With the new Enstar Manitan, right, which is very similar to this. Enstar Manitan is also an Ends Pokemon, so it can use the End stuff as well, which makes it even better. But like that's 90 and 90 for one reversal on a stage 1 versus 120 and 120, where I don't think 120 matters that much. When I think of Pokemon you're looking to snipe or just knock out that are like 120 or less, they pretty much all are like with pure evolution basics or stage 1s, which have like 60, 70, 80, 90, somewhere in that range. I can't really think of any off the top of my head that have more than that. Like I'm thinking of Dusclops and Drake as like higher HP ones that aren't above 120. And you're not knocking those out, or you are knocking those out already with both. So Blaziken doesn't let you knock them out any better.
Yeah, I mean, I guess if you're going to go with this, it's in a Blaziken EX deck, right? Because that obviously uses the same pre-evolutions, and it lets you accelerate a basic energy and discard below your Pokemon, because you got to get 3 energies on every turn. If you're not getting knocked out, you still need 2 energies, and you might probably get knocked out, you need 3. So, although if you're playing the Blaziken EX, it's not probably the best thing anyway, and you may have probably have better options than this. So, if you have Blaziken EX in the deck, you might want to slap a copy of this Blaziken in maybe as a secondary attacker. I guess is where the most probably the best use case for it would be.
Yeah, which is not great, but it's something, I guess.
Well, it's one of the
Probably the worst
starter.
one we've seen.
Yeah, hey, one of the starter decks has Blaziken EX, so you want to upgrade it? Maybe you slap a Blaziken in it right when it comes out.
Yeah, I think I have that starter deck as well. I think that's one of the four that I got. So,
Yeah,
um, anyways, let's move on to the next card
yeah.
here, which is Annihilate. Annihilate is a stage 2. There are some cool Annihilates in Standard as well. I'll just make a mention that those are out there. They're like cool, I guess. But this card has the ability Vessel of Rage, which says if this Pokemon has 2 or more damage counters on it, attacks used by this Pokemon do 120 more damage to your opponent's active, of course, before weakness and resistance, and which is good. And then you do, or okay, it's good. It doesn't really matter. But Impact Blow does 160. Cannot be used back to back. This reminds me a lot of Feraligatr, except it's a little different because it's not like you choose to put the damage on you and then you do more damage. It's if you do have damage on you, you get to do more damage.
Right.
It's actually like super similar. The numbers are like the same. Well, they're not exactly the same, but they're very similar. The I think damage numbers are exactly the same, and this is like kind of interesting. I don't know exactly how you get the damage on though, to be honest. Like there is Calamitous Snowy Mountain if you're a basic and then you can evolve, but that seems kind of bad. And like the attack's fine, but I'd definitely rather just use Feraligatr. Feraligatr doesn't need you to jump through the same amount of hoops as Annihilate.
Yeah, before rotation, you had some ways to get damage and play onto yourself with some stadiums and some different moving damage counters and stuff. But now, you're gonna. I think it's gonna be a struggle to get the damage on, and if you don't, you're just doing 160, which isn't terrible, but you also can't attack the next turn. So I guess if you're getting one
I
shot,
mean, you're not surviving either.
yeah, part of this tough thing is though these single prize stage twos. If you're getting one shot, it's tough because you have to set up again every turn to another stage two. Plus, of all there's a lot of bench work you're doing is along the way too. I do want to mention the primate. The stage one is probably in some ways the best of this line here. The attack drag off for 1 fighting. You switch your opponent's one of your opponent's bench for the active, so you get to choose, and you do 30 damage to the new active. So that's pretty appealing, right? If you have an Annihilate deck, you're definitely going to use Primate from time to time, right? Your opponent retreats to the bench for something, you pull it up and do 30 damage. Take 2 prizes with it,
Um,
right?
yeah. Wait, how are you taking 2 prizes?
Your
Oh,
opponent
if they're
retreats to the
damaged,
bench,
mostly.
right? They have their EX on the bench with 30 HP or less, and which
Yeah,
that happens in no that happens in games. You know it does,
it
especially
happens some. I don't know if it's definitely like it's okay. And it also does hit weakness, which is like kind of interesting. I was wondering if there are Pokemon that are weak. I couldn't think of any immediately off the top of my head that are weak to this, that have 60 HP or less, or honestly, really any that are like single prize basics, that people play a lot. But I'm sure there are some. My mind's like immediately jumping to like Bidoof, but that rotated. And then there's also Squovit, but no one's playing Squovit without Bidoof. So or Bidoof slash Barrel. So not exactly sure the use, but I mean it's like okay. We see attacks like this all the time, right? But
look,
it's okay.
but if the stage two is good, it's a useful stage one, right? I think you'd agree about that.
Yeah, I guess so.
You
I
don't
think
even
the
think
Torchic
so.
is better than the. No, it is. I think the Torchic is better than the Primate, but that doesn't really matter.
Right. It's really the stage twos that also make these whether they're useful or not. And they're both for the work to do stage twos. I don't probably this would be an expanded card the Annihilate because then you have ways to get the damage there. You can make that happen much easier. But then you have a lot.
Yeah, and it's 2 energy, which isn't like that easy either.
No, right. And once you go to expanded, you have just more Pokemon to choose from. So you again probably don't pick Annihilate there either. But um, yeah. So then we have the Regirock EX. So a basic EX fighting Pokemon, 230 HP. So that's the HP number you want, right? Base is a basic. It's usually less than that. Usually not getting higher than that, I guess is what I mean to say. So it's got 2 attacks, Reggie Charge for a colorless. You can accelerates 2 fighting energies, fighting energies, sorry, to itself. So that gets you ready for next turn. Oh, partly, not even all the way there. Hopefully, you don't get knocked out. So again, that's not that type of thing's not great. But then Giant Rock, 4 energies, fighting and 3 colorless, does 140 damage. And if your opponent's active Pokemon's a stage 2, it does 140 more. But first off, you got to get 4 energies on it, right? That's a problem. Maybe you have the solution for it, but I'll let you say that in a minute. The other thing is, it's a stage 2. You're doing 280, except stage 2s all have more than that. So not only do I have to get the energy in play, I also have to do some damage manipulation too. So I'm not loving it.
Yeah, yeah, I don't know how to get the energy on. You could use the attack, or more likely, I guess, Koraidon DX, which is like pretty similar, but
Yeah.
it's like you don't need to be in the active, which is bad to just leave yourself in the active to get knocked out. But it's not very good. There is a stage 2 with 280, but that's Pidgeot EX, which resists you, so you don't even one shot that either. Um, there might be others, but I can't think of them. So that's pretty awkward and not good, right? So yeah, I'd say this Pokemon's probably the weakest we've seen of the ones we looked at so far, which is not ideal because they haven't been great. But yeah,
No, they kind of did. They almost designed this one to be bad, right? The others, they were trying to give you some hope. This one, they kind of took it away before you could even get started with it. So, yeah, I mean, if you have thoughts about how these can make them work, obviously let them know in the comments. So, and then this is the last of the cards Pokemon before we get to the actual Team Rockets cards themselves, and this is a Gorbis, well, Gorbis and Huntail, which both evolve from Clamper. So two different stage ones with it, and I'm trying to so the Huntail has the ability Diver Catch. When one of your water Pokemon is knocked out from damage from an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, can put a basic water energy attached to that
or
Pokemon.
all of them.
Oh, all of them. Okay, yeah, you don't get to choose if you wanted to split them. I guess you
Mhm.
don't have to put them in, but you get. I guess it's all or none. I'm not sure about that.
Yeah,
Um,
which is better than just one. But
Yeah, no, it is because it's so you get these energies in hand. It does have an attack. 3 energies does 80. That's not going to get you anywhere really. On a stage 1, you're getting one shot, so we'll ignore that. And it's not there for the ability is there to that you want to attack with the Gorbis here, which again also involves some clamper. And it for one at water energy, it does crescendo wave, 30 damage for each water energy attached to this Pokemon. So if you only have one energy attached, it's just doing 30, so that's not good. But you want to get more on, and you can because before doing damage, you may attach any number of basic water energy cards from your hand to this Pokemon. So you just need water energies in your hand. You don't actually need to accelerate them with anything. They actually just the attack itself accelerates the energy, which I'm not sure I've seen that before in a Pokemon. So that part's interesting. You let me know if you've seen it before. So this is probably the most interesting of the ones we've had so far.
yeah, this is definitely like so. I was kind of looking through them some before. I've looked at them before as well, and I kind of forgot about this. This attack's definitely, as you said, something that I don't think I've seen before either. I could be forgetting something, but this is pretty interesting, allowing you to accelerate. It is you said like you because the other option would be something like what Excalibur.
Right.
That the difference is that makes Excalibur a little bit better. Obviously, it's a stage 2, like it's worse in that way, but it allows you to accelerate and then like research Ariano and then accelerate some more. You can't do
Right.
that with Gorbis, but this is still pretty interesting. I don't think it's super strong, right? It's not like that much damage.
No.
And you're also evolving from the same evolution line makes things kind of nice, both evolving from the Clamperl, but then you also like are gonna you need a bunch of these and you need them all the time and you're gonna run out of Pokemon, I feel like. So
Right.
it's interesting, some cool stuff going on, but not amazing either.
No, you're going to get in trouble. And look, the positive side is if you get set up and you can keep chaining attacks, you'll just grow your damage level, right? Because you just keep getting more and more energies attached to it because they're all coming back in your hand. So assuming you're drawing a couple energies each turn with something, which you can do a lot of turns, you can now by the end of the game be one shotting. You can be doing 300 damage after a few knock.
Um,
Right,
I guess. Yeah, that's a lot of energy.
it is, but if
Like I
you
don't know how many you're playing into your deck,
maybe
but
oh well, you always play 12 energies in a deck when in doubt. That's my rule of thumb. So
yeah, I was like 12 would like it feels okay, and that like can allow you to one shot things. You
yeah,
don't even actually well, do you one shot everything?
it
I'm
gets you
not
to
sure.
360 with that, right? So that's not.
Yeah, but
But
there's some like tanky things,
no,
especially in this set. So you don't actually want to set everything, but that's fine. It's like it's decent. I mean, if it gets going, I think it's pretty like solid. I
right.
think this will be like a bit of a meme deck, but not terrible either.
Yeah, no, it's a meme deck, and like you said, though, the fact having the bench because they're evolving from the same one makes it the deck building sort of easy, but you're going to have problems keeping this going as your opponent keeps doing damage to you. So, you know, if you need both the Huntail and the Gorbis every turn, so to make
Yeah.
it work. So
Uh-huh.
anyway,
Then we have the like meat of the set, right? We got the Team Rocket stuff up next. And this is like a bunch of the set. I don't remember exactly how much of the set it is, but it's a bunch of it. And this set is called the Glory Team Rocket, which I think we said or something. It's in Japanese, but that's what this set is. And let's see. So there's a bunch of cards, and then I'm just reading through the article real quick, and I was just looking if there's anything interesting because it got revealed like 9 months ago, which is kind of silly. But then we didn't like hear anything about it. So, but yeah, nothing happened in that 9 month period. But there are a bunch of Team Rockets Pokemon, and one thing I'll make note of on the lower right hand corner, there's like the trainers Pokemon, but there's just like different members of Team Rocket, which is something to note, I guess. But whatever. So, what should we start with? Should we just go in order here?
I think so, right? So the first one, there's a Spidops, a single prize Spidops, which I'm trying to remember how this one was here as I'm scanning through it.
Yeah, I can get it. So
Go ahead.
it lets you accelerate from one basic energy from your discard to this Pokemon each turn. Again, this is Team Rocket Spite Up, so they do not evolve from like you can't play Spite Up CX. Oh, you could, but there's no reason to specifically because they don't evolve from the same Pokemon. And then you can do 30 damage for each of your Team Rocket Pokemon, Team Rocket's Pokemon in play, which isn't that much. I think let's move on and then we'll talk about this card. Let's like
Well,
talk
it's
about all
not
these cards on
terrible
this page.
though. What you don't? Okay, I don't think it's bad though. I gotta say.
Yeah. Wait. Okay. Let's see. Let's see. Why is it good on its own?
Well, it's per. The good thing is you count. It counts itself, right? So now,
Yeah.
so you can have six. So 6 times 3, 180. Single prize. Assuming I can get myself powered up, it's 2 energies. Okay, I'm concerned about that, but there is a little help for that. Or energy acceleration, right? With Crispin or something. And then so I'm two-shotting everything with a single prize, and it's a stage 1, so I should have a Spidops to attack with every turn, right? So it's
Hmm.
viable in that sense, I think. In a look, it's
I
not going to
guess
be
it doesn't do
great.
that much damage though. Like it's okay, but it's not great.
Well, I'm
It's kind of
two-shotting.
weak.
I'm two-shotting things, right? I'm doing
Yeah.
180,
I guess you one shot Charizard,
right? I'm
but
look,
then that means you're not playing any engine or like support Pokemon. I mean, there's some which we'll kind of talk about, but they're
yeah.
not like. I guess it's not completely terrible, but I don't think it's very good either.
And don't forget, if I have a
Personally,
Terra
but
Pokemon, I can expand my bench.
that's true. Yeah, you can do that, and then oh yeah, there's like some of the synergy stuff is weird. Yeah, you can play non-Team Rocket's Pokemon.
Right.
So
There are no Terra Team Rockets Pokemon though, correct?
no, and there will not be. I'm assuming.
Yeah. Okay. Right. So you're gonna have to have at least one non-Team Rockets Pokemon
Mhm.
to expand the bench there. But okay. So you want to talk about the Mewtwo's EX Team Rockets Mewtwo EX then?
Yeah, and this has an ability that's like super good, so broken. It says it cannot attack unless you have 4 more Team Rocket's Pokemon to play. Again, it doesn't count itself, so you need 3 on your bench. But then it has 280 HP, which is a lot. Like that's
Wait. No,
absurd.
why doesn't it count itself?
I
It
would
it
no,
does
it
count
does.
itself, right? It just
Oh,
says
did I
four in
misspeak?
play. It doesn't say on the bench. It says can attack unless you
Oh,
have.
yeah, it
Assuming
said.
this
Okay, I
translation is
misspoke.
correct, so you only need 3 others. So you should be able to take care of that most of the time.
Yeah, but you are still like doing like you need to figure out like what Team Rocket's Pokemon to play.
Yeah.
But we'll talk about this card. We'll kind of like delve more into this card. But it has 280 HP. It does Psychic Colorless. It does 160. You may discard up to 2 energy from your bench Pokemon. It does 60 more for each card. 60 more damage for each card discarded in this way.
Right. So you need to get the energies in play. Plus, you need 3 energies on it itself, and you need energies on the bench to discard. Obviously, scaling that's nice. I think 280 though on a basic that's really good. So it's got some. This one has definitely things going for it. Is what I'll say.
Hmm. And things going against it.
Oh, yeah, you have. It has challenges. Challenges. That's the. Always look at it. I got to frame it positively here.
Yep. Okay. And then we have Team Rocket's Meowth, and we have Team Rocket's Persian EX. This card, the second attack is actually like really horrendously awful. It's 3 colors, 140, and then Confusion, which I just think is like super bad, right?
It's not. You're right. If it was paralysis, then obviously it has so has some merit, but confusion, it's not good. No.
Yeah. But then we have Haughty Orders for 2 colors on, again, the stage one. It has 260 HP less than the Team Rocket SP2 EX, which, again, the Team Rocket SP2 EX is high. It's more than we've seen on any basic Pokemon in the EX era, the current EX era. So then this deck though for 2 colors does says your opponent reveals the top 10 cards of your deck of their deck, and you may choose an attack from Pokemon you find there and use it as this attack, and then your opponent shuffles all the cards back. So you copy one of their Pokemon, but you don't really know what you're copying. You could miss, and you could get something really bad.
Yeah, and as the game goes on, your opponent's deck gets smaller and smaller. You're like thinking, "Uh oh, I'm in trouble here too," right? So, um,
Um,
if
Wait,
you don't
why?
if
Oh,
if
if
you
they
don't have other
don't.
attackers, right? Because all of a sudden, if you see your opponent play it, you just might just put Pokemon in play and just discard the rest, and you're feeling good. If you can set up well enough. So, um,
Yeah.
the fact that it looks at 10 though isn't terrible, is what I'll say. Right, ten's more than you usually get to look at, so that's the upside. But yeah, it's a lot of randomness. I'm not sure. I don't think that within the Team Rocket stuff there's a way to get something on your opponent's deck, right?
Yeah, I don't think so. So this is like I think pretty awkward. It's kind of funny. There's an energy that lets you attack using one of it, so like it's very payable. I mean, it's only 2 colors, right? It's payable
Yeah.
anyways, decently payable, but it's going to be really random, and your opponent has some control over the randomness, and you don't really have any control over the randomness.
Right. I mean, I think this falls probably in the meme deck territory, right? You can have some silly games with some crazy things happening, but it's going to be very inconsistent when it does what, and the second attack is not good enough on it.
Mhm.
All right.
Then we have the Team Rocket's Porygon line. Or do you want to talk about this line? You like Porygon?
I do like Porygon. So the power of Porygon itself, you discard a card from hand. So right. Oh, you discard a card, then your opponent discards a card. So you each get to choose. So okay. Anyway, it's the second. So the stage, the Porygon 2, which is the stage one. I don't know how the naming came up originally. Most other people, I'm sure, understand why it's Porygon 2 on a stage one. But for 3 colorless, 3 energy, that's the downside. But 20 damage for each supporter in your discard pile with Team Rocket in its name. And we do have some Team Rocket supporters that we're only talking about. So 20 is not the best multiplier, but you can get supporters in the discard pile. So that's very appealing potentially. There again, I don't know how you power it up. You have reversal energy, although I find that I don't. I'm not I'm not friends with reversal energy. Maybe you get better results with it. So the stage two, the Porygon Z, you discard 2 cards from hand to draw a card. So that's like I forget what the V Pokemon was that did
The
that.
Galarian Articuno V, which is like a bad ability on a basic. I mean, it wasn't the worst. It saw some play, but
So they take a
it
bad
certainly wasn't the
basic out of
strongest.
they take a bad base ability on a basic and put it on a stage two to make it even worse, right?
Hmm.
So, but obviously it synergizes with the Porygon 2's attack, and then also you have the same attack for 1 less energy on the Porygon Z. So it's 2 energy in this case, so this is the better one. 20, again, 2 colorless energies does 20 for each supporter with Team Rocket. So you're wanting to get these, it helps you get the cards in the discard pile. Is it going to be good enough and all? I don't know. It looks fun to me to give a go with that. That's kind of where I'm at with it.
Yeah, and I think there's a bunch of Team Rocket supporters. I think there's more than you need, so you can play as many as you want. Obviously, they won't all be amazing, but they can. I think you'll have enough to one shot everything if you want. So that's like good, I guess. The ability is pretty bad. I was like, oh, there's an engine for for the rocket stuff if you are only playing Team Rocket Pokemon, but it's pretty terrible. It only draws 1 card, so um, and it's a stage two. It's pretty bad. It's one of the worst engines of the game, to be honest. But no, it's like definitely the worst engine in the game, actually. Depending what you count as engines, but there's some like fun stuff going on with it, I guess.
Yeah, it's I don't know how good it's going to be, right? Plus it's 140 HP, so you're pretty much guaranteed to get one shot. Stage twos, you got to keep getting it set up and all that and power it up. So, but I think it's fun. I think this is the best one of these Pokemon we've seen so far, maybe.
Wait, which one?
Well, the Porygon Z.
I think Mewtwo is better. I kind of like the Team Rocket's Persian EX. I think I want to play it. Like, I don't know if it's really any good at all. It's kind of it's pretty bad, right? But it can be good if you
Yeah.
get kind of lucky. Um, Team Rocket's V2 EX, because this one, like, you can pair with the Team Rocket Spite Ops to kind of get some stuff going. I think that's the idea, but I don't love it. But you could pair it with stuff. You need a bunch of Pokemon in play um, that like aren't going to do very much on your bench probably, but you
Right.
can, like, you'd have great HP and you have okay damage. It's pretty expensive, but theoretically, if you use like Team Sogurpon EX or the Spite Ops, then you could be okay.
Yeah, I mean the Mewtwo with the Spite Ops, which accelerates energy each turn, you just got to get 3 energies on the Mewtwo EX, right? It's a basic. That's the good thing. 3 energies. What am I? I'm playing Gardevoir now with it. Um,
Yeah, no, probably just energy switch, right? That should be fine. I mean, it's fine most of the time, I think. So I think
oh,
that's all right.
oh, right, because Spite Ops is grass, but the Team Rocket Spite Ops, it can accelerate any type of energy to it. So yeah.
I mean, it doesn't matter what type. It's
Well, you
yeah,
need
it's
three
two psychic
energies
and a
on.
colorless.
You
So
need for right to power up Mewtwo. Now, hopefully, you're not getting one shot. Right, right. At 280 HP basic, if you're getting one shot with the Mewtwo, you're gonna lose the game probably. Right, if they're one shotting from the start.
probably yeah. I mean, you do 280. That's like not amazing. It's okay, but it's not absolutely insane.
Plus,
Um,
I think it's gonna
yeah.
be hard to to get 3 attacks in a row. Right, just because you got to get 3 energies, 3 energies, 3 energies. I think you're gonna
Oh, if you get
miss.
knocked out,
Yeah, if you get knocked out, you're not gonna
yeah,
stream attack after attack after attack. So
yeah. I think getting it powered up in the first place is okay. I think like if you didn't have the ability here, I think you could use TMS Sogo Pontiacs, which is just kind of better than Spite Ops. They're different, but it's better earlier. I mean, it's a basic, so that's better.
right.
And you just use that and the special energy, and then which we'll talk about in a moment, and then you can power yourself up using just one energy switch, kind of like I don't know, like it doesn't seem that hard to do. Somewhere in between Reggie Draco and Raging Bolt, but the damage isn't quite like if it was uncapped, it would be better, obviously.
Right, it's only two, so you can't one shot stuff. You could obviously go with the TMS Gogurpon. You could even bench two and really hope that,
You
then
could
you.
bench more, and you could play the Air Zero under the Stadium, which is like I think that might be
Oh, that's true, because
okay.
that is a Terra Pokemon. So, but even if you had two, you just need to get, you want another Mewtwo on the bench, and you're gonna probably want two Spite Ops as the game goes on, right? That's kind of the bench you want anyway. Another attacker, two Spite Ops to accelerate 2 energies, and then you. So, I don't know. I'm not sure. Do I love it? No, it's interesting though.
Mhm. Then we have the trainers though, or actually let's talk about the special energy. I kind of like talked about it already, but
Yeah.
it's Team Rocket's special or no Team Rocket's energy, which is a special energy. It's two energy, but it's psychic and darkness. So there's some psychic, some darkness Pokemon. It's not going to pay you for say Spite Ops EXs or no Team Rocket Spite Ops attacks. Or its attack, it's the colorless there, but not the grass, and then it can't be accelerated there, anyways. Um, and it can only be attached to Team Rocket's Pokemon, of course, as well, and will get discarded if it's somehow there in some other way. Um, and so that's good, obviously, but yeah, we'll just kind of talk about like you'll just kind of assume that you kind of have that when we talk about these other cards, but it is like something you have to get into hand. It's kind of like double turbo energy or rap. It's really similar to Rapid Strike energy, but that was a little while ago.
Well, and Rapid Strike also had the artillery to actually get the energy in your hand, right? Whereas this,
That's true, yeah.
you've got to get the energy somehow, which is you're limited, obviously, how you get special energies. Uh,
Yeah. Um, then we have Team Rocket's receiver. This is a card I'm really excited for. I don't know if you're excited for it.
no, I think if you're playing, right, no, it's really good. I mean, if you're playing a Team Rockets deck, of course. If you're not, then
Well, I think it could be good and not Team
well,
Rocket's
so
deck.
you search your deck for a supporter with Rocket its name, put in your hand. So it lets you search, right? Unlike say the Pokegear 3.0, you just look at the top seven. This is an item that lets you get any supporter as long as there are good Rocket supporters that you want to play, of course. But it's yeah, no, it's kind of like with the tag teams. I like that package, and you could get there are items to get supporters, right? If I remember what
Yeah,
tag
tag
call.
call.
So it's part of what I liked about that, and I like the Team Rockets to me is more of a true team than the I guess because it's team in the name, right? The owners were very small. This is a more robust set of cards, which I'm liking.
Yeah. But then there's the first supporter, or do you want to read the supporters? I can read them.
Go ahead, you can read it.
Okay, so we got Team Rocket's Ariana, which says draw until you have 5 cards in hand. If all of your Pokemon in play are Team Rocket's Pokemon, draw until you have 8 in hand instead. So this is kind of where you want all Team Rocket's Pokemon, but then you're like handicapping yourself a lot because then you can't play any like Pheasant EX or Teal Masoga EX or like any support Pokemon really at all. So Draw to 5 is like weak, but it is searchable. It's not like the worst, I guess. Um, yeah, this card seems kind of weird.
Yeah, look, I mean, with a card draw to 5 or draw to 8, you need to obviously be thinning your hand before you play it. So you're gonna want some combo of Pokemon attacks that are gonna get you to small hand. You want a deck that's gonna naturally get you to small hand size each turn. So I'm yeah, that's I'm not certain about that. That this one's not the
Yeah, you
best.
got the Porygon Z. The Team Rocket's Porygon Z.
That's it. Well, yeah. I mean, it all synergizes, right? It's a beautiful thing.
Yep.
So the next supporter is Team Rocket's Archer. You can only play this if one of your Team Rocket's Pokemon was knocked out during an opponent's last turn. So both of these trainers, you're not playing a non-Team Rockets decks, right? So when you said you can play them in other decks, these are definitely designed for Team Rockets decks.
Yeah. I mean, you can't play Team Rocket's Archer and not Team Rocket's decks.
Right. Well, you can. It's not
You
illegal.
can. That's true.
It's just really dumb, right? Really bad. But each player shuffles their hand in their deck. You draw 5. Your opponent draws 3. So is that what Marnie did?
No,
That was
Marnie,
4 and
this is better. Yeah.
3. Now it's 5. So Marnie was a really good card. Everybody played it. So if you're playing a Team Rockets deck, you're playing this supporter, right? Period.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's okay. It's not even that much better than Iona. Like, I don't know if it's always better than Iona, but I think it's a decent card.
Well, and you do have the Team Rockets receiver, right? Which if you're playing a
Yeah,
team,
no, it's
you're playing that in the deck as well, I would imagine.
yeah. I think you play 4 of that. You might just play 1 or 2 of this. You probably play 1 or 2. I think you might just play 1. Like, it's good on some turns. It's really good on some turns. Or no, it's just good. Like, draw till 5 is or shuffle draw 5 is good, but not insane. And then your opponent shuffling draw to, and drawing to 3 is like disruptive, but it's not like insane either. I feel like the supporter is like okay. I don't really like it that much, to be honest. Like, yes, you play it, but it's not like the strongest.
I think it's I like it more than Ariana between this and Archer and Ariana, but there's other ones to talk about. Um, so the next one here to talk about is Team Rocket's Giovanni. This one, I guess, might be better. We'll see what you think here. The supporter, you switch your active Rockets Pokemon with your bench Team Rockets Pokemon. So you have to have a Team Rockets in the active and at least one Team Rockets on the bench. You switch, and then you switch one of your opponent's bench Pokemon with their active Pokemon. And I think I've heard that gusting, you be able to gust from your opponent's bench to the active is good. I think there's a rumor about that. So, and
No,
if,
I think he's no. I think it's actually not good. I think you shouldn't play those cards, especially if, like playing against me or something.
okay,
So, yeah, no. Obviously, this is kind of like Giovanni. It's actually like more like Guzma, which is kind of weird that like Giovanni and Guzma are like switched. But
yeah,
anyways, it's a Gustin card, but you need to switch. Both the active and the bench need to be Team Rockets. So this is like obviously in Team
right.
Rocket stuff again. I was like thinking, oh, could you play this and like not play Team Rocket's Pokemon and then just play like a couple and then use this as a gust and then Team Rocket's receiver and Team Rocket's because we saw these cards first. There are some other supporters, but we saw Team Rocket's Ariana and Giovanni and Archer, but ignoring that one, you could not be playing not a Team Rocket stack and then play these in it. That's pretty awkward. It's like super clunky. Within Team Rockets, the Team Rocket stack is obviously pretty good. It's obviously really good. It's just searchable bosses orders essentially with a switch. The switch isn't actually that good. It's okay. It might be doing what you want, but it's not necessarily doing what you want. Like if you're playing a non-Team Rockets Pokemon, then they guess it up, then it's stuck there. So you can't actually play this, but whatever. This card is still good, I think. Yeah, I think it's really good
If you're
for
playing
Team
it,
Rocket stuff.
yeah, no, if you're playing a Team Rockets deck, you're playing this. I mean, especially you're playing a Team Rockets deck, you play 4 Team Rockets receiver. You're probably playing 2 Giovannis, I would think. I would guess that's the basic number, and you're going to play 1 or 2 of the archers, right? Probably by that's kind of the default, right? Maybe
I think Team Rocket's Ariana you also definitely play.
okay,
I'd play
yeah,
at least one of it. Like it's kind of like Karina, like in the bad situations, like a worse Karina's Focus, which Karina's Focus isn't that good,
yeah,
but it's still a draw supporter. Like it lets you draw some cards. And Team Rocket's actually doesn't necessarily always you can't always play it. And Team Rocket's Giovanni obviously isn't drawing you cards. So I don't remember the other 2 trainers. I remember one of them, or I think there's 2 supporters. But anyways, we'll get to those in a
yeah.
moment, and we'll talk about the Team Rocket stuff as a whole at the end.
Right.
But I think we can move on.
Yeah. Well, here's the question. Here's the cliffhanger, which we'll just leave for a minute. I think these set of trainers are really good. They're better than the set of Pokemon we have so far. And the question is, do we have the Pokemon to really get value out of these trainers?
Yeah, yeah, like I think they're good. The trainers are all kind of collectively good. Pokemon are all kind of bad, except for Team Rocket Mewtwo has like really high HP and theoretically good damage, but it doesn't really have the support here.
Right.
But next up, we have Team Amphross's or no, Team Rocket's Ampharos, and this has the attack, or no, the attack's pretty bad. It's 140 for 3. But then your ability here is Darkest Impulse, which says when your opponent plays Pokemon from their hand to evolve one of their Pokemon during their turn, put 4 damage counters on their Pokemon, and it doesn't stack. This doesn't like really interact with the Team Rocket's Pokemon much at all. There's like minor interactions, I guess, or minor synergies, but this can be played in anything. It's not Ampharos. It's Team Rocket's Ampharos. You can't play with Flappy in like expanded, or if you wanted to play some other Ampharos deck in a standard, but it's a little extra damage, which is okay.
Yeah, I mean, the extra damage can be good. It's on a stage 2. Is that the numbers you want? I don't know. I don't think it's not going to replace the Dusknoir line, right? I don't think everyone's dropping that for this. The other thing I'll mention though, I think the Mareep, Team Rocket's Mareep, is this going to be a control card? Provision for one colorless. One colorless control players love attacks for one colorless. You search your deck for an item, reveal it, put it in your hand, shuffle your deck. So,
Um,
it,
yeah, how good is this? Like, there's I feel like there are cards like objectively better.
are there?
I don't know. There's Indeedee, which searches. Oh, that's not the right Indeedee. Oh, that rotated. Yeah, I'm not sure. I feel like there have to be cards that just like search for any card on a basic.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. So if someone knows, you can leave it in the comments on our videos. So I mean, that's part of the thing. As I look through the pre-evolutions, right? It obviously could be a control thing. And we're gonna have coming to live the GLC, so maybe you want to just stick it in your GLC deck if you're playing Lightning
What,
GLC.
the Team Rockets
Well,
Ampharos?
it won't be out when it comes, but the Mareep, right? Just get an item, right? I don't know. I'm just
I don't know. And then you also have the other Flappy. That's really weird. Kind of funny. Um,
yeah. So, yeah. So the Team Rocket's Ampharos is, if you want the damage counters, it's good, but it's the attack's not great. So I'm not loving this one. And we so far we have not seen a Pokemon that can actually utilize the Team Rocket's energy. By the way.
well, we've seen the Mewtwo.
Oh, right,
Yes,
because
but
it's
it doesn't
psychic
work
and
on the bench.
darkness.
But
Yeah,
and the
that's
well,
true.
no, the Team Rockets Porygon Z and the Team Rockets Persian EX can, but they're not super good.
Well,
Um,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, fair enough.
well, no, this could also use it. It just doesn't pay the lightning, but it pays the other two. Not that it's good. It's pretty
Yeah,
bad, but yeah.
yeah, that's true. It would have value on it, right? And then you can attach that, and I hit it at one. I'll use one card from generator, and away I go. So, electric generator. Okay.
Yep.
So,
Awesome.
yeah.
It's okay. I think it's not super good, but it's not like if you want to toss it in, I guess into something.
Well, if you're doing, if you need to fill up your bench with all Team Rocket's Pokemon, then maybe
This
you.
is stage 2. It's not like really splashable unless you're already playing stage 2s, I feel like.
Well, that's the question. Well, yeah, I know that was the downside, but I was trying to give the upside to it. But you're correct. It's still it's sketchy at best. I would say.
Mhm.
All right, so
Next we have these cards. Wait, so do you look at these cards?
I yes, these were the ones that are supposed to. It shows a lot of product here, but then it shows the 4 promos, right? That's what I'm supposed to look at here.
Yeah.
But the
And there's
promos
the
are
Team Rockets Wobbuffet, which we'll talk about
okay.
in just a minute.
So there's the 4 promos. They're fanned out, so the text is partly covered up. So you have a Team Rockets Tyranitar, a Team Rockets Mimikyu, a Misty's Gyarados, and an Ethan's Typhlosion. So we see all of the Misty's, the Ethan's Typhlosion, 170 HP.
Yeah. And we've seen this card before, and we've talked about
Okay,
the Ethans
it's
and the
out.
Misties. So,
They've been out.
um,
Okay, so the Mimikyu and the Tyranitar for Team Rockets are new, right? So go ahead. Why don't you talk about them?
yeah. So Team Rockets Tyranitar, we can't really see that much of. Well, I don't know. I think we can see we can see less of it than Team Rockets Misty.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Presumably it has I don't know some normal HP that's like high, but whatever. And then the ability says something, and then it says during Pokemon checkup, something something spot, presumably active spot, put 2 damage counters, something something basic Pokemon. I'm assuming it's probably something like if it's in the active, then during Pokemon checkup, put 2 damage counters on each of your opponent's basic Pokemon. We'll say maybe it's like all of them, including yours. I don't know. It's like not great, right? If it you imagine something like that, probably.
Yeah, I mean, if it's like the best case scenario is you put 2 damage counters on each opponent's basic Pokemon, right? That's the best case, which it probably isn't that, and even that's not like
Yeah.
winning the world. And it probably has to be in the active spot, right? It probably is this Pokemon has to be in the active spot, I would guess.
Yeah, I'm assuming. And then it also, even if we say it has like 200 HP or something like that, and then it's
Right. So you're
wait, actually,
prob
how much HP do Tyranitar
I
have?
mean, you're probably not surviving the attack. That's the point there, right? Because if you're knocked out, the ability's not in play. So you have to survive your opponent's attack. Well, I
Yeah, I mean, it happens once for you, but then you want it to
yes,
happen again.
right.
And then, or you could have like another one on the bench, but then you have your attack for 4, 3 colorless and 1 fighting. It's
Yeah.
something, and it says discard an energy. I'll assume it's from your opponent's active. It's actually probably from itself, to be honest.
Oh,
But
probably it says
we'll say
discard
it's,
energies from each of your opponent's Pokemon. That's what about it. It
oh, that's
says for the
true. No,
rest of
it
the
just
game.
yeah, yeah. After that, and then maybe it says
Yeah.
discard an energy from all of your opponent's deck, and then you win.
No,
But yeah, and it probably does like not enough damage. I mean, it's 4 energy on a stage 2, anyways. Even if it did
right.
instant knockout, I feel like it would be like kind of mediocre. I
No,
guess it would be like pretty good if it was instant knockout. Maybe with like Slow King, then you do that.
and you have to get it powered up somehow, which is a problem, right? So unless the HP is insanely high, it's no good. But a lot of these times the pre-release cards are might be the best pre-release deck, but most of the pre-release cards aren't good IRL. Aren't good standard
Yeah, they're
cards.
usually like okay,
Right.
like mediocre. And then we have Team Rocket's Mimikyu though. So I want to hear, what do you think? So can you read this and then like read what you see and tell me what you think it does?
Okay. So the attack cost is Psychic Colorless. We have Gemstone, and I don't know if there's anything after that or not. We don't know what the damage is.
Probably something. That like seems like not the name of an attack, right?
Yeah, I'm just trying to go by the spacing, right? There's not a lot of space after it, so it's Gemstone in a very short word if that's the case.
Yeah,
And
maybe
it's
like Smash or oh yeah, that's a little short, but anyways.
because you have to have a damage number potentially. I don't know if there is. Well, maybe I guess there's choose one of your opponent's A, and it stops. So I assuming attack is the word, and it says use it as this attack. So you choose one of your opponent's
Yeah, well,
attacks.
no, it wouldn't be attack. I think it's active Pokemon because
Oh,
because active is capitalized, I'm pretty sure, and attack would not be.
but it has to say attack somewhere, right? Choose one of your opponent's active Pokemon. It can't just say
Oh
choose
wait, I
your
think
opponent's
active
active.
Pokemon's attacks is probably what it
Yeah, is
says.
there room? I'm trying to think if there's room for all that here, but
I think
maybe.
there is. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Some
Okay.
people like think it might be another word as well. Like I don't like maybe I was thinking because it's a gemstone, it might be active Terra Pokemon's attacks, which would make it
Hmm.
obviously much worse. But I don't know. I think it might just be active Pokemon's attacks and
Ye-
uses this attack.
right, and I think in so there isn't a damage number after the gemstone, right? Because you're using your opponent's attack. Um, so it's interesting, right? And you can power it up with the one with the special energy if that's so you can. It's a basic that potentially you can power up in one turn. Um, I like that, and of course the Zatu engine always works. So that's like
Uh,
free psychic energies
yeah.
whenever you need them. It doesn't always work, but it's the dream. It's a dream, right? Just like Zoroark was a good Pokemon back before it rotated, right?
Yeah, you could play. Yeah, you could have played Zoroark with Zadu. I could you? I don't remember, but
Um, so it, you know, I don't think I'm going to build a Team Rocket's Mimikyu deck, but if you have a Team Rocket's, well, no, it doesn't have to go in a Team Rocket's deck. You just need to be able to power it up, right? So do you put it in like, do I put it in a Mimikyu deck, right? Because wall decks are like the big thing now, right? And I have to have some psychic energy. So do I slap in a Mimikyu in some annoying wall deck? That's
maybe. Yeah, I mean, like I think it can go and you could also splash it in and then play some Team Rocket's energy, and then like use it there, or it could be like, I don't know. I don't know exactly how you want to use this, but I think it's like if the attack is what we think it is, then it's pretty good. Or then it's like really good because it's Mew EX's attack, except it's a single prizer, presumably with 70 HP as well. I think every Mimikyu has had 70 HP. They could like increase it to 80, which should be like bad for it, but as that, yeah, they literally all had 70. So, well, no, they all the single prizers have all had 70. The other ones have had different HPs, but
yes.
yeah, like I think this is theoretically really good. Obviously, we don't see the whole card, but I think we have a good idea of what it is, and it seems good.
Yeah, no, I think this one has some appeal. So how good and what type of deck it's going to go in, right? Like it doesn't have to be in a Team Rockets deck necessarily. So I don't know. It might not even want to go in Team Rockets decks. It might just whatever deck makes sense with it. So yeah, so that one that's an interesting one. Yes.
And then we have the Team Rocket's Wobbuffet, and this one has its second attack's really bad, but it's Team Rocket's Pokemon. For Psychic Colorless, you move all damage counters from one of your bench Team Rocket's Pokemon to your opponent's active Pokemon. I think this is interesting, specifically with the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX, which has 280 HP, which is obviously a lot for
Right.
a basic, and then you could put on Bravery Charm as well to be up to 330, surviving a lot of hits, and then at that point you would be able to do you like take a bunch of damage, or either not this, but the Mewtwo takes a bunch of damage, then you can heal it all off and then do damage. And then your Wobbuffet gets knocked up, but that's only a single prizer.
Yeah. No, you're correct. It's healing yourself, doing big damage with the Mewtwo, like we said. And let me go back to that Mewtwo again. Um, yeah, I mean, because with Mewtwo, when you attack with it, you don't discard. You discard from the bench, so you have the Mewtwo already powered up. So as long as you can switch, and there's switching's obviously not that crazy to do. Yeah, potentially it could be good. You're probably yeah. You've got to, of course, get the two energy on that turn you need it, but the type of attack is it's always it's an interesting type of attack.
Yeah. It's often not good, but I think it has potential. Like as a one of in the Rocket stacks, I think it kind of makes sense. Um,
Yeah.
and so I think like one of this, two Mimikyus, and some like stuff to get Mewtwo going, if you can get that, is interesting. But then yeah, let's talk about the next cards because I think these are really cool as
Yeah,
well.
yeah, I think it goes right with like in the Team Rockets deck because then you can power it up with one energy, assuming you get it. So it makes it a little more useful. But yes, these last set of cards are interesting. So you want to start talking about those?
Yeah, so we have Team Rocket's Moltres EX. We have all the birds. They're like not I don't know, they're like kind of related. But anyways, the Team Rocket's Moltres EX is the best, I'm pretty sure. Because it's the EX of them, and it does the first. Well, I don't know. It's interesting. The first attack here is Flame Screen. It does 110 for fire colors during your opponent's next turn. This Pokemon takes 50 less damage from attacks, and then you also have the second attack here, Evil Burn for fire, and then 3 colorless, and you discard a Team Rocket's energy from this Pokemon. If you do, discard your opponent's active Pokemon and all the cards attached. You don't knock them out, but it's out of play, which is really interesting.
Yeah. So the second attack, it's four energies, and one of them has to be Team Rocket's energy. So then you need another colorless and a fire. So can you power it up? I don't. I'm concerned about that. I will say, but other that, but you discard it, so that's potentially very good. Obviously, you get no prizes. You said that, so super interesting there. The first attack does 110, which is obviously not good. I would say for three energy. You take 50 less, but doing 110 and taking 50 less isn't great. Now your opponent needs to do 270 to one shot you, and most decks are trying to do that, right? And you're trying to hit the 280 number usually still, or
Yeah,
something,
like 3. Yeah,
or
like 2
three.
is something that decks kind of like stumble into, but like even like 330. But some decks do come pull short, but they'll still knock you out here.
Right.
I will say getting the energy on. I think you should use Ethan's Ho EX, which um, what's Ethan's Ho EX do again? I forgot exactly. Also, I like can't spell at all. So Ethan's Ho EX says that once during your turn, you may attach 2 fire energy cards from your hand to one of your benched Ethan's Pokemon, which can be Ethan's Ho EX itself. Then you can use Armor Boost to move the energy off of it to your Team Rocket's Moltres EX, and then just attach the Team Rocket's energy and then be attacking.
Okay. If you, all right. If you say so.
Huh?
If you say so, I didn't quite follow. I was trying to look up the
Oh,
card as you
you
were
use the
talking.
Ethan's Ho EX, which gets the 2 fires from hand. So it like
But
um
to an Ethan's Pokemon though,
to itself.
to itself, is it
And then you
to?
Armor Rouge.
Okay. Yeah, okay, it can go to itself. Yeah, it does, or different Ethans if you're
Yeah,
playing
it's
it.
kind of
So
weird. Like it kind of seems like it shouldn't be to itself, but yeah, it can. And then you
yeah.
can use this. There have been some Armouge box decks played, not that many, but I think they. I don't know. I'm like super excited for this deck. I honestly don't care. Like I could care less about the other Ethan stuff. I mean, it's okay, whatever. It's actually kind of pretty good, but
Well,
I'm really excited for Armouge box.
I like Armor Rouge box. Armor Rouge allows you to. You're talking the Armor Rouge, the ability you can move a basic fire energy. It doesn't have to be basic from the bench
Yeah,
to the active Pokemon as much as you want in a turn. So I like this. The problem is, I like the concept of this Pokemon in a Armor Rouge box, but
mhm.
I also now have to be, and obviously a Pokemon you can add to that that's fire. That's great, but I need the Team Rocket's energy in my Armor Rouge box, and that's where it starts to get a little
Yeah.
awkward to me.
Then I was thinking, so I don't remember what the rest of these cards are. So this gets kind of weird, but I was thinking then you could also put in the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX because it's two psychic and a colorless, and your energy could be the fire energy. The big issue is now you need four Team Rockets Pokemon in play, and I don't really know where those are coming from. Um, like you could play some Team Rocket Spite Ops. You're already playing Team Rocket's Moltres EX. You could play like some Mewtwo's and Moltres, but I don't know where you're getting the bench space. But I think it's like interesting concept, and that would allow you to pay for the attack and get those things working.
Okay.
Maybe like a some like path reprint or something would help this. Well, I don't know if it would actually help it, but if you like path like halfway through your turn, because you can't path at the beginning because you need to use the Ethan's Ho-Oh EX, but you
Right.
want to turn off the Team Rocket's Mewtwo EX.
Well, you're probably gonna have to expand your bench with the whole Terra thing, right? In which case,
Yeah.
although maybe you can bump that stadium for the path midway through too. I don't.
Yeah. Yeah. No, well, if you're expanding your bench, you're fine. Well, I don't even know what the Terra is though, because none of the
Yeah,
Pokemon we said were Terras, but
I don't know either.
I don't know. This seems like interesting. Maybe it's like kind of silly, but I think the Team Rocket's Vulture 6, I think that's the best way to power it up. It's a basic, some energies, and a stage one and another basic. It's like a bunch of stuff, but I think it's kind of doable. And the attack is like kind of good. I mean, it's kind of weird
Hmm.
because um, discarding your opponent's active isn't necessarily what you want to be doing. It can be good, but it's not always good.
Well, I
It's not
guess you.
always good enough.
Yeah, well, I guess you want Armor Rouge and Spite Ops, right? Team Rocket Spite Ops in this,
Yeah, I
right?
guess. Yeah.
That's. It's not great, but it's simpler than what you were saying, right?
I don't know if it's simpler, but it's probably simpler. Yeah, let's do the Mewtwo then. So yeah, that's better.
So look, second attack's really interesting. I give you that. I'm not sure how actual viable it is, right? Because the four energies makes it tough. But on the other hand, they probably shouldn't have made it any easier though, because it would be super disruptive if it was too easy to power up. So I think they probably
Yeah, I
got
think it
it
could have
right.
been one cheaper.
Maybe, maybe because they don't take any prizes with it, right? So
Yeah,
yeah. All right. So
and you
next,
lose the Team Rocket's energy.
oh, you do right. You do right. You lose it, which yeah. So you can't really stream it very easily. So yes. Um,
Yeah, it's a little easier to stream than to get it back all the way because you do have the fires on, but it's weird. It's just kind of weird.
right, and you're hoping you don't get knocked out, of course, because then you got to get it start from scratch. But anyway, so the other birds here we have the Team Rockets Articuno. So this is a single prize, basic 120 HP. It's got an attack Dark Frost 60 plus. If it has a Team Rockets energy, it does 60 more for watercolors colorless. That's not great, right? 120, including your special energy attached, but it's here for the ability resistant veil, prevent all effects of your opponent's attacks done to your basic Team Rockets Pokemon, and that damage does not affect. They say that here, which they always do. But the nice thing here is, which I realized after thinking about it, it also protects your active Pokemon. So this is protecting your Mew, right? Which is your Mewtwo EX,
Mewtwo.
which
Yeah,
is what
from
you're all about here in the active
yeah,
spot.
yeah. I don't know exactly what you're worried about. But I'm sure it'll do some things which are nice for you, and it's also Dragonful protection, which I think is also really nice.
Yeah,
Like that seems like a pretty big deal. And it's kind of interesting. It's nothing insane, but it's like a probably an inclusion in a lot of rocket stacks. Um,
yeah, it's a good
yeah.
look. It protects your active from Mimikyu, things like that that place damage counters on it.
Oh yeah. Mhm.
And obviously, like if you get this down with we right now, we do have these donk poison decks out there. So maybe you
No,
wanna.
they're effects of abilities though. I was
Oh,
like
that's
thinking
an
about like
ability,
poison
not
and
that's not
stuff,
an
but
attack.
yeah,
You're
that's
right.
still yeah.
You're right.
I mean, technically they could attack with Peck Run. I've actually done that. It's pretty bad, but I've done that, and it would stop that, like all the effects, including the retreat locking. So it definitely has some use cases. But I don't think it's like an ever game type of card. It's like I think it's more situational than something like Manaphy slash Shaman slash Mew. But it's still like it's still decent.
Yeah, yeah. How widely spread it's going to be, I don't know. And obviously, it's just going in Team Rocket's decks. And then the last one is we have Team Rocket
Oh, so do
Zapdos.
you mention the attack on the Articuno?
Yeah, it's for watercolors colors. It does 60 plus 60 more if you have the Team Rocket's energy. And I said it's just not good.
Oh yeah,
Do
okay.
you right?
Um,
You would agree.
Yeah, it's not very good. And it's also the same attack as the Team Rocket Zapdos, which is the name's called Bad Thunder, which is like a weird translation. But that's kind of funny. It's the same thing, but for lightning. And you could do for two colors, you can do 30 and move energy from your opponent's active to one of their bench Pokemon, which is like kind of disruptive and can be paid for using a Team Rocket energy, which is okay, but nothing super spectacular, I don't think.
No, it's not that good. The first two, right? The Moltres, which you like because the second attack's a lot of fun, and I do think that the Articuno has consideration for Team Rocket's decks in general.
Yeah, probably actually better than the Moltres, but not as exciting.
It'll see more use most likely, right? I suspect, except by you.
Yep.
All right, so then we get to one of my favorites here. We get coughing and wheezing. Team Rocket's coughing and Team Rocket's wheezing. These are always great, really disruptive cards. So the basic Pokemon has the ability, if the Pokemon's the active spot and damaged by an attack from your opponent's Pokemon, even if it's knocked out, search your deck for two Pokemon with coughing in the name, put them onto your bench, shuffle your deck. So assuming this translation is correct, you can get Team Rocket's coughings on your bench, but you can also get the just regular coughings on your bench, so which is important, right?
Yep. Mhm.
So I'm not misreading that, right? Hopefully
Oh yeah, no, that's very important to the card. That's how it kind of works.
right. Well, but it can also get Team Rocket's coughing, right? Or is that not correct?
Yeah, no, yeah, it gets all of them. That's
Okay. Which is really important because the wheezing here, Team Rocket's wheezing, which evolves from the coughing, of course. For darkness, colorless, look, it does have the coughing has an attack of 30 for two, so that's not good. But for darkness, colorless on the stage one, all that explosion is 40 damage for each Pokemon in play with coughing or wheezing in its name, which is why you want to be able to have the non-Team Rocket. And again, it doesn't say Team Rocket's coughings or wheezings. It just says coughing or wheezing. So you can fill up, hopefully reasonably easily, to six of them, to six coughing and wheezing. Although you have no engine then, right? I know that's what you're going to tell me because you're always looking at the negative here.
oh
But
no, I was going to say the positive of this, but actually, but you can. Well, I'll say that in a second.
okay, and of course you can have a Terra Pokemon, and then you can get 7 on the bench plus the active. You got 8 going.
Yeah, yeah,
So
that's what I was going to say. You could get the full 8.
well, you can't get 8 because there's not a Terra coughing or wheezing,
No, because
right?
your active one is
Oh, that's right, 7 plus the
yeah,
active. Yeah, sorry. And if there was an EX, that would count too, correct?
yeah. You wouldn't really be able to get all 9 in play, but that would count.
Maybe they'll print a
Um,
Terra EX version. Then we can
yeah,
then we can get all 9.
yeah, maybe.
So let's say we have 6 in play, right? Then we're doing 6 times 4, 240. That's not if you can power up a single prize Pokemon every turn. It's a stage one again, not too tough to evolve into, and do whatever I said, 260,
40.
240 every turn. I'm happy with that, right? You're not guaranteed to win, but you'll take a couple two shots of three prize Pokemon, two prize Pokemon, and I'll one shot one basic EX, and I'll win the game, right? So easy peasy there.
Yeah, no, you're gonna run out of energies too. Like I think because you're really relying on the Team Rocket's energy there. But I think it's like okay. The card's really interesting. The other wheezing, because there is a wheezing in standard that is very important. Let me find it. Let me get it in English. Oh yeah, there's two. The one's pretty bad, but the one is actually really interesting, which you talked about. You hyped this up a lot when it was first revealed. It's the one with the ability to let's have a blast, which says if this Pokemon is in the active and knocked out by damage from an attack, and this is a regular wheezing,
Yeah.
and then you flip a coin. If heads, the attacking Pokemon is also knocked out.
Right. So now maybe I'm playing that again, which I didn't. I think I might have, yeah, tried it, and I try to forget that those days, you know. Um, but yeah, look, it's not great, but because you want to attack with your other Pokemon, but you can send him up to the active, right? While you, if you because you're gonna miss like with single prize decks, you miss attacks sometimes. So now having something to hide behind for a turn that gives you some value anyway is a good thing. So I think this one's really interesting. Maybe it's just a meme deck. I don't know. I love these single prize decks. It's got great scalability. Obviously, the Team Rockets powers it up. You can it's a darkness and a colorless though. So the good thing about that is you can it doesn't have it opens up other possibilities, maybe to the
Yeah, you could use Teal Masoga, Pontiacs as the Terra, and you could energy switch and be doing 320 every turn.
or I could be playing Zatu, right? I can go back to that too, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, then you can't be doing as much damage then.
No, I correct. You're right.
You'll Turo's the Zadu out of play.
Well, but the fact that the one is a colorless, if you can also Crispin. You got Crispin, right?
Yeah, you can Crispin. You could Janine Secret, or no, was it Janine Secret Technique? I think that's better. Do you know like
What's
that one?
I'm
Oh, that
trying.
also poisons your active. So it's you
Oh,
search for 2 darkness and accelerate them to your Pokemon, and then you can poison your active. And you can also use Binding Mochi there as well,
yeah.
which is pretty interesting. You could use Binding Mochi with Peckrant EX, but that doesn't really make any sense. So I mean,
Right.
it allows you to do extra damage, but it's not great.
Right. Well, no, it is good. Binding Mochi gives you an extra 40 damage, so that's an extra
Oh, but if
wheezing.
you're playing the Pekka then then it's kind of replacing itself.
No, I like the Janine Secret Art because that powers me
Oh
up
yeah.
too. So I power it up. I choose two of my energy, and I search my deck. So I just need two energies, basic energies in my deck. So and yeah, I like that. So now I'm really swinging big with that. No, I mean you might play that out. The Crispin's probably might be more reliable though. I'm not sure.
Wait, why? Well, no,
Well,
but
I guess I just need a supporter in hand either way. So and now it
well, no, actually, Janine's is definitely more reliable because Crispin forces you to play extra energy types, right? Which you don't really want to do, presumably,
right
assuming you don't want to do that. And
with
then um,
go ahead.
Janine's Crispin, you need both energy types. Janine, if you just have one, it still works. Crispin, if you just have one, it doesn't work. It'll just get the energy into your hand, not accelerate it. Janine does poison, which could be bad or could be good. It's probably better.
Well, I don't think the poison's a bit. The poison is probably a net positive in that most of the
Yeah, for
time you're
binding
getting one
motion.
shot, so the extra 10 damage from the poison's not going to matter.
Yeah.
And you can use the binding mochi. The downside with Janine's versus the Crispin is I need to have a darkness energy in hand. When I use the Crispin, I draw my second
Oh,
energy,
yeah, that's true. That's right.
and
Um,
and I can't
yeah.
really play an engine with the wheezing. I'm concerned about that. Now, what I am now excited about, and we do have well, no, I don't want to play GLC. That is for singleton because that's not gonna be good. But I can go to expanded and I can play my Roxy.
Yeah. Oh, wait, what?
The
Oh,
one,
with the other coughings and wheezing.
yeah,
Yeah,
the
yeah.
old ones, yeah.
Um, and you could know in GLC, you could do Team Rocket's wheezing. You could get Zoroark into Galarian wheezing, and then play a regular wheezing as well. So you can have 3 wheezes in play in GLC. So you could be doing
What?
120.
Okay, not bad there, not bad.
Yeah,
Um, so
maybe. I don't know. Maybe it's bad. It's probably bad,
look,
but
I
it's fun.
love Roxy. If you don't know what it does, you discard two Pokemon that aren't GXs or EXs, and you draw three cards. But then if it's the right
For each
cost
one.
for each one, so you could draw 6 cards. Drawing 6 cards is good, or you would agree, right? Draw six,
Yeah, yeah.
you're
No,
in
it's
for
actually a
that.
pretty good supporter. It's pretty underrated. It's just a draw supporter. It's kind of insane at times.
Right, and then the wheezing, there's a wheezing and a coughing with the blowaway bomb ability that if it's discarded from Roxy, you put what is it? One damage counter to your opponent's Pokemon, so on each of them. So now you can spread if you get both two of those, 2 damage counters to every opponent's Pokemon. It's a lot of fun. Is what that's what I'm trying to say there. But
Yeah, it doesn't actually have that great synergy with this. It's like
no, it
okay.
doesn't. I think the Team Rocket's wheezing has potential, and I think it could even be standard viable. Maybe at a low level. I don't think it's gonna be the best deck around, but it could. It could be one of the top single prize decks in format in standard. I think. But, you know,
Um,
you don't
yeah,
agree.
no, I think it. No, I kind of agree. I think maybe. like pushing the top 5, maybe like put maybe top 10. I don't know. I think it's
Yeah.
okay. Like I don't think it's yeah, I think it's okay. And then though we have the next line, which is
Yeah.
the
Sorry.
Team Rockets Crobat EX Golbat line. This one's really interesting in my
Yes.
opinion. And I thought there was a card that was printed like Team Rocket's Crobat EX, which on play on Evolution, you put 2 damage counters on 2 of your opponent's Pokemon versus Team Rocket's Golbat, you put 2 on 1 of your opponent's Pokemon as the stage 1. There's a card like Team Rocket's Golbat, an old Golbat. I think it's the same ability name. And the Team Rocket's Crobat EX is different than the Crobat before. It might be a custom card I'm thinking of, though. I don't remember. But, anyways, it's 2 on 2 for the stage 2 play, and
Yeah.
it's 2 on 1 for the stage 1. It's kind of like Dustmore. You don't really want to rare candy this. You do get a little more damage faster, but in general, you'll like lose out on some damage there. And then you don't knock yourself out, obviously, which is really good. And the Team Rocket's Crobat EX has a really interesting attack for 2 darkness. You do 120, and you may put this Pokemon into your hand. You do discard the attached cards, though. It's payable, again, 2 darkness, so that's a Team Rocket's energy, but you will be losing that energy, which is kind of interesting. I'm kind of surprised that's how it works. I feel like that's not that common, but still, and definitely a really, really interesting attack that allows you to obviously reuse the abilities. And I think these cards are, I think they're awesome in any deck, or maybe not any deck, but like most decks.
Uh,
Um, they could have value.
no, these are good. These are good cards, potentially, and also the attack on the Golbat is you can use that some. It does 30. Your opponent's Pokemon's confused. It's not great, but
Yeah.
you have those hope. You got to hope right for the coin toss turns. We all get those,
Yeah.
so you get that. The Crobat where it can go in your deck. It's 310 HP on a stage 1, by the way, or stage. Wait, it's a stage 1.
310. No, stage 2.
Okay, it says stage
Oh,
1.
there's some apparently
It's a
on
typo,
Pokegeeks
right?
there's a typo. Yeah.
Okay, I was like, wait, okay, so that's less exciting, but obviously, but it makes sense. Crobat develops from Goldblatt. The ability is good. The attack does 120. You can put it in your hand, but if you don't think your opponent's gonna one shot you, and they can't always do that, then you leave them in play. So that's really nice too. And then we do have that Ampharos that maybe you're working that some magic with that because that puts the 4 damage counter. So maybe we're gonna really go for a damage counter placing deck. I don't know. Or
Yeah, probably not, but
So look, I agree.
maybe.
This one's real very interesting though.
Yeah, I think the stuff like it's different decks and talking about it, but I don't think that's for now, especially because we're kind of over time.
Yeah.
But whatever. Then we have Team Rocket Sneasel. This one has the attack for 2 darkness. You do again, so that's 1 Team Rocket's energy. It does 20 to one of your opponent's bench Pokemon for each damage counter already on that Pokemon, and that's pretty interesting. This is one of my favorite attacks ever. The same one that was on Asper in the while ago and on
Was it
Barraskewda also kind of a while ago. And so that allows you to like you essentially triple the damage on that Pokemon. Again, there will be bench barrier at the time that this comes back, and there is also Terras which you can't go after. But something like a Pidgeot EX you could go after, and you damage them some with Team Rocket's Crobat EX. And I really like this as this like a spread style deck. You could play Ampharos. I don't know. Ampharos seems okay. Ampharos might actually be worth it. I'm not really sure to be honest, but I think Team Rocket's Crobat EX gives you a lot of control over it, which is nice. And this is interesting and another like piece you probably play in Team Rockets, in the Team Rockets decks anyway, because it's just one energy, one Team Rockets energy.
right on a basic single prize. So yeah, if you're playing the Crobat deck, you're definitely playing it, and probably it goes in most Team Rockets decks, I would think, because you want one copy of, I think, because again, your opponent retreats to the bench. Obviously, it can't be a Terra Pokemon, but as long as it's they have some EX that's not a Terra, they retreat to the bench, and the bench protection is not going to protect EXs, right? That's coming out,
Yeah,
correct?
it does not.
So
No.
that's really what you want to do. You want to finish off the EXs. So a simple way to do that, you're probably gonna, if you're playing a Team Rockets deck with the Team Rockets energy, you're gonna slap one of these in your deck. I would imagine most of the time.
Yeah. So this is cool. It's another one, kind of like the Team Rockets Wobbuffet, but I think a little bit better.
Yeah.
Then we have the Team Rockets Great Ball, which is not actually like Great Ball. It's actually like Capturing Aroma. It's a Capturing Aroma, right? Blue
Yeah,
coin.
it is
If
capturing
heads,
aroma. Yes.
you switch for an evolution. If tails, switch for basic. But they're Rockets Pokemon, Team Rockets Pokemon. So it's like worst Capturing Aroma. It seems like okay in Team Rocket stacks. They're not that good. And yeah, I don't know why they had to like nerf Capturing Aroma. That like doesn't make that much sense. But whatever.
No, and you know, and I certainly was never a fan of Capture Remember because the coin flip just didn't. I didn't like it. I don't know that you were either. So obviously, it was good for some decks. I think they should have made this trainer better for Team Rocket's Pokemon, right? I would say, right? You should have more agency over it. You probably shouldn't be able to just search for any Team Rocket's Pokemon. That's not good. But they should have.
Yeah, maybe. I think it might have been okay if it was searching Team Rocket's Pokemon, to be honest.
Okay.
I'm not sure. But anyways, then we have two Team Rocket supporters. Or no, Team Rocket's Venture Bomb. Let's talk about that first.
Yeah.
This is flip a coin. If heads, put 2 damage counters on one of your opponent's Pokemon. If tails, put 2 damage counters on your active Pokemon. This is kind of insane. There was a card that wanted damage on it. Oh, he was the Annihilate. But anyways, this can just do damage. It's an item that can just do damage. That's kind of insane.
Right, and obviously it's a coin flip, but the it's weighted towards you because you can choose wherever it goes if it's your opponent. So, right, if it was just your opponent's active versus you active, it wouldn't be so good. But um, pairing with the Sneasel or something like that is pretty good there.
Yeah. And so I think this card's kind of insane. You could use this turn one to like donk your opponent as well, which I think is kind of crazy. This is like a weird card. I don't know what it's going to be like on the game, but it's really interesting. And I think it could be played in lots of different decks. And then there is the two Team Rocket supporters here. The first one, I'll just talk about them both here.
Yeah.
Is search for a trainer, put into your hand, shuffle your deck. It's Team Rocket's Petrol. And then you have Team Rocket's Proton, which says if you go first, you can play this, and it is a supporter. And you search for 3 basic Team Rocket's Pokemon, reveal them, put them into your hand, then shuffle your deck. So I think the second one, the basic one, is good. You just play as a one of, get it turn one pretty easily because you have the Team Rocket's receiver card and just play them down, and that's good. You can play it even if you're not playing a ton of Team Rocket's Pokemon. If you're just playing like the Coughing or the Zubat or whatever, it's still probably decent. And it's very easy to find. And the Team Rocket's Petrol, I mean, it's the same as Skyla. I don't remember if there's another card it's the same as.
Yeah.
But that card's like okay, but it's actually really nice now with being searchable as a team. It's just a solid supporter.
It's the petrol card I'm not loving, but yes, because we can search it out, it'll see some play. I'm not, I don't know if I'm going to put more than one copy in a Team Rockets deck, but maybe the Proton, I definitely, that's pretty good. I think that's probably going in all your Team Rockets decks, 1 or 2 copies of that because I do like that. So yeah, I think and we are at the point where we still have more Team Rockets cards to come as well, correct?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure we do. Right now, I don't expect too many great ones to come out after this, but I think they're pretty good right now. Though I don't know what the Team Rockets deck itself is looking like. Feels a little sketchy. Like tossing a bunch of like Team Rockets, Crobats, and Golbats in your Mewtwo EX, is that really what you need? Probably not. I mean, it like kind of fills out space, and they're cool cards that will help some damage, right? You're a little bit short, so it's like kind of good, but kind of weird as well. But overall, these look really, really interesting, and I think these may end up being really good. The other trainers Pokemon so far have been like a little underwhelming, but this could be pretty insane.
Yeah, I mean, I think I said at the beginning, it feels a lot more like the tag team is a package, right? It feels more, it kind of feels like the tag team in a certain sense.
Yeah, and also like the Rapid Strike single strike
Yeah, the
stuff as
battle
well.
styles. It has an energy to go with it. It kind of has all the pieces. It doesn't have we don't have a stadium at this point, right? But we have all the other pieces covered, I think.
I don't know. There's no like tool. I mean,
Oh, there's
yeah,
no
there's stuff.
tool either yet. Okay.
Um, yeah, they're a little different as well. No VMAXs, right? But
Well, yeah. But
but yeah, I think these are really cool. I don't think you have anything else to say about these. I don't think I do either.
no, I'm looking forward to it though. I think there's some nice cards here, and it's looking pretty interesting. That's what I'd say. So
Yeah. But tell us down below what you think in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube, and check us out on 10 Types or in Common Fossil, where we each have other content as well about various things of Pokemon TCG. But we hope you enjoyed. Consider liking, subscribing, hitting the bell, all that good stuff. And as always, we're excited to see you in the next episode.
take care.